Hi everyone, this is my first video on my own, and so today I'm going to talk about how people's perspective can actually lead to some people having mental health issues like depression, anxiety, PTSD, having social anxiety disorders, suicidal ideation, attempts and completion. We're so judgmental of people. Even myself, I have paid attention to the fact that I've even been so that I have been judgmental. And the reason I'm doing this video as I'm twisting my locks is because years ago I was very judgmental about people who had locks, even so much so that when my sons wanted to start developing their locks, I was completely against it. I thought that people who had locks were dirty or homeless or, just a person who was on the fringe of societies. And I was pushing that on my sons because of my perspective of someone with locks. However, my sons were determined and steadfast in their decision to develop their locks. So much so that I began to do research on locks to understand it and then help them to be able to guide them into how to maintain their locks in a neat, nice way. So to the point where I began to actually love them, and now I too have developed my own locks, as you can see. That leads me to a video. I've seen two videos of young ladies who had serious acne. It was some type of hormonal acne. But the girls were so traumatized by their peers growing up when, your hormones are going in awry and they're developing acne, as we all did as children. No, I never developed it to that point, a bump here or there. But I remember hearing people make fun of people with acne to the point calling them pepperoni face, always saying, "Oh, you need to pop that. Oh, your face looks nasty," and things like that. And these are some of the stories that those two young ladies told. They were so embarrassed about themselves. They caked on makeup. They did everything to try to rid themselves of acne. They even talk about being depressed, having anxiety if they were told they had to leave the house without makeup on. They absolutely were adamant and refused not to. One of them even said that she was in so much pain she fantasized about committing suicide simply because she had acne. We have to, this goes back to something I posted earlier about seeing ourselves through other people's eyes. Seeing ourselves through other people's eyes is just not good because other people have their own perspective. And why am I conforming to your ideas about the way I look or who I am as a person or who I should be? And that has led into where I'm seeing myself increase in body dysmorphia. Um, Darker complected people are bleaching their skin. I saw a segment with someone actually using household bleach because they did not want to be dark because they got teased a lot. But then yet lighter complected people are tanning, laying out in the sun, wanting to be darker. Tall people kind of wish they were shorter. Shorter people wish they were taller. um Bigger people wish they were thinner. Really, really thin people are being teased because they're saying girls look like boys, or boy bodies, or boys look like a string bean. So they want to gain weight. So the whole idea of seeing ourselves through someone else's eyes can really lead to a lot of problems. My brother, when he was growing up, he was in a temple. He decided to get an ear piercing to, I guess, commemorate it or whatever the reason was. That was between himself and our parents. That child was teased unmercifully. He was called sissies, fags, punks. I know that it bothered him. His lips were talked about. He was told he had big pink lips. He was dark and ugly. You don't look like April. She's lighter complexion. Like what? And it bothered him. He would say, you don't know what it feels like. Your lips aren't this big, or your skin color isn't this dark, or whatever. We didn't even grow up like that, knowing skin color and lip sizes. But I saw how it affected him. And then I'm seeing an increase in it today. People want to have big butts. I saw a segment where some people are actually putting chicken stock in a syringe and shooting it in their bottoms to have larger bottoms. Um, People getting fake breasts, men getting chest implants and bicep implants, people getting cheek implants, chin implants, all this stuff done to themselves because of someone else's perspective, society's perspective of what we're supposed to look like. Body dysmorphia is a mental health disorder where we actually do not like what we see in the mirror. Self loathing, self hate. It causes us to actually destroy our bodies. Society can put a pressure on a person to where they just feel so excluded that they feel like they don't belong, to where they no longer want to be here. We're always running around making fun of someone. I see a lot of posts, especially by you people who are like 35 and up. You all put posts on there. I seen a post, somebody was making fun of a lady who had alopecia. And they were comparing it to the young lady with the Gorilla Glue incident. But the lady who was on there has alopecia. Now imagine her picture circulating with people making fun of her. What if that were your child? What if that were your parent? What if that were your sibling? What if that were you? How would you feel? Do we have to do a better job at this stage of teaching our children how to love their uniqueness. I grew up with this nose like that. It's a hump. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I want a nose just like my mom and my sisters. Their noses are straight, they got pretty noses. And then all of a sudden, when I got to be 21, I looked at myself and I looked at my great grandmother and my great auntie. And I said, I have their face. It would be calling my family members ugly and their noses ugly because I don't like it. It is an honor for me to be them. It is an honor to have this nose. This nose is my heritage. Everything about me is a reflection of them who came before me. And we must start teaching our children that they are beautiful in their own right with everything about them. I hear a lot of people say there are no perfect people. Well, I beg to differ because I am perfectly April. And there's no one else who can be me, no one else who looks like me. And that, in and of itself, is my beauty. And that's what makes me perfect. I'm not buying into there is no perfect person because I think the way I was born is perfect. And most of you all say we're in the image of God, then isn't God of perfection? So then you are perfect. I will never tell myself or my children or my grandchildren or my nieces or nephews that they're not perfect. They're perfectly themselves, just the way they are. And I hope you all really got something out of this and you understand where I'm coming from. So if you have any questions or any comments, let me know in the comments. See y'all later. And remember, what's my favorite quote? Let's raise children who do not have to recover from their childhood. Great weekend.